So this is my honest review of The Burning God by RF Kuang, which is book 3 in the Poppy War trilogy. There are going to be spoilers in this video, but I know so many of you have been waiting for this. But if you haven't read this book or haven't read any of the series, stop watching this video, press save, and come back to it once you have. So now that the spoiler warning's out the way, I really enjoyed this book, but I do want to say I do feel like it was a little bit rushed. Storyline I liked, characters I liked, I just didn't like the pacing that much. I don't know why, but for me it kind of felt like it was written as a standalone novel. I know it's not a standalone, but in terms of pacing, where you have a lot of context, a lot of storyline, and a lot of plot to get through, you can have those time jumps that this book has. But when it's the third and final book in a trilogy and you have so much going on, there's so much high tension, there's so much dopamine everywhere, and you're having these time jumps of like a few weeks at a time, I think it kind of takes away from it and loses the immersion a little bit. The main bits I'm talking about are towards the end, not the actual ending, but you know the massive battle they have about 200 pages before, and then the scene with the dragon after. I feel like they were just so rushed. I get it, it's all from Rin's perspective, and Rin wasn't actually in that battle, so we're not allowed to know what's going on that much. I understand that, but I think it would have been easy enough to write a couple of scenes where Rin overlooks the battlefield as if she is that wartime general that she's making out to be. I also think the scene with the dragon was quite confusing. I understood it, but it did feel like, oh yeah, let's just put that in there. It would have made so much more sense if the Phoenix could have been in the real world and materialized in the real world alongside the dragon, and they could have fought like that, and it would have been Nejar and Rin, but on the godly plane, which would have been so good. But I actually really liked the ending. I loved the whole book. I do think that Rin didn't develop as much as she did in the Dragon Republic and the Poppy War, but that isn't one of my stripes with this book. Bearing in mind, I still gave this book a 4 stars because I was obsessed with it. The ending was heartbreaking. I do think it was so perfectly written. I do think that moment of clarity that Rin had at the end when it came to Katai was perfect. But if I wasn't an RF Kuang reader and I didn't know how she writes, I would think that this is a setup for a 4th and final book in the trilogy. But because I've read Babel by RF Kuang, I know that she likes to leave endings open. I know she doesn't like happy conclusions, let alone conclusions at all. And I do like that. It's one of my favorite parts about her writing. I don't like everything just coming to a point necessarily in every single book ever. Like, it doesn't have to be the end of the story just because you finish the book. It's like at the beginning. For me, I love being put in the story after it started. I don't like the story beginning at the beginning of the book, if that makes sense. But yeah, I gave this book a 4 stars. My favorite character by far was Katai in this book. In the Dragon Republic, it was Nejar. I do think it was really well developed for both of those characters throughout the whole trilogy. I just wish, and I think loads of other people wished it, is that we got more Nejar scenes in this, because then we could see this whole thing from Nejar's side. Apart from the little stories that we got separately, we didn't see much about his side, and he was genuinely one of the most interesting characters, one of the most conflicted characters with such depth in him. It was amazing. But I just wish we got more of him. So 4 stars for The Burning God. This is actually my lowest in the trilogy, but 4 stars across a whole trilogy is actually really good. Let me know in the comments what you thought of The Burning God by RF Kuang, the conclusion to the Poppy War. I would 100% recommend this series to someone. I love the messaging, I love the trauma, I love the characters, I love the plot. But for now, make sure to like, make sure to follow. We are so close to 10k, and happy goddamn reading.